Alright, it's been quite some time since the induction of the Bloodrend attunement into Deepwoken, and the community, to put it lightly, has been expectantly waiting for the attunement to have its first legendary weapon added to the game. I'll cut straight to the chase. From a design perspective, this weapon did not disappoint, and I've heard whispers of it being extremely powerful. However, we're not here to discuss the competitive viability of this weapon, we're here to discuss just how it fits into the tapestry of Deepwoken's story. I'll be running through that in today's video, and I'm sure you loreheads have been waiting patiently. I also now have channel memberships enabled. Members will get mentioned at the end of every video, and there's other perks that I won't get into right now. Obviously, you don't have to become a member, but if you do, thank you. Enough of that, remember to subscribe and like the video, and we'll dive right into the lore behind the bloodfouler. Okay, so let's start at the center of this secret update, the basement of one outpost Antumbra. Deep within the heart of Mini Tearza, there's an outpost that I'm sure all of you know as the site of the Trial of One. However, if you descend to the trial's entrance, you'll notice something new. An NPC by the name of Volu with a mischievous look in his eye. Upon spotting you, he'll launch into conversation, handing you a book of mysterious origin with no delay. Aha, you there. Volu grins widely, holding a heavy book with a large lock. Yes. Oh, perfect timing. Here, take this. He holds out the mysterious tome, practically bouncing on his feet. Why don't you want it? Oh, it's not that I don't want it, it's just so much more fitting for you. Volu chuckles, eyes twinkling mischievously with a tinge of sorrow. That sounds unsettling. This beauty, a curious old tome, just begging to be opened, by you, of course. Volu winks playfully. Fine, I'll take it. Marvelous, simply marvelous. Volu claps his hands together, beaming as he hands over the tome. It feels unnaturally smooth in your hands. On your way you go, no need to linger. Volu waves you off, with a knowing grin. Now, it doesn't take a genius to realize that something is obviously wrong here. In terms of what you've been handed, it's a book titled The Strange Tome. It's only the first volume. In order to retrieve the other two books, you'll have to hope they drop from Chaser and the NPC in the Understrand, which would typically fight for the Deep Spindle. The second and third volumes of the Strange Tomes will rarely drop from their respective NPCs, and once you've got all three, you can assemble them in the basement of Outpost Antumbra, placing each tome in its respective place on a coffin near Volu, and, well, you'll have yourself the newest legendary weapon added to Deepwoken, the bloodfouler. Besides the obvious ties to the Ministry, the weapon bears a description that sheds light on its origins and purpose. Don't go anywhere, I'll read it aloud. A deep crimson odachi, commissioned and forged for a prophet in training, then relinquished in later years. Marked by its maker's seal, a sinister vow seeps through its scarlet's fibers. Its jagged edge cleaves through foes with unsettling ease, drinking deep of their blood to empower its wielder's divine purpose. When your fingers graze its serrated edge, horrors unlike any you've known flicker through your mind, small glimpses of something vast and unknowable. The visions vanish before you can grasp their meaning, leaving only the question, are they echoes of the past, or omens of what's to come? We now know that this weapon was originally forged for the hands of a prophet in training, but don't get ahead of yourselves. I've seen far too many people state that this blade has to be the former property of the second prophet, the progenitor of bloodrending, but they're not reading closely enough. The description states that a sinister vow seeps through its scarlet fibers, a message that's meant to be taken literally. This weapon was not created for the second prophet, it was created by the second prophet, using the vow magic that we know is forced upon characters like Chaser and Verelda. This sinister vow is just that, the oath the second prophet requires his bloodrenders to swear to. This also means that this weapon was forged by the second prophet for a previous prophet in training, meaning that one of the prophets we haven't seen in-game yet likely wields bloodrend as well. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Why was Volu so eager to essentially hand us the keys to a slaughterous murder weapon fashioned by the second prophet? Well, it's stated in the bloodfouler's description that we're blasted by visions of some incomprehensible eldritch calamity every time we touch the edge of the blade. Perhaps Volu was expectantly hoping that our glimpses into this future would drive us insane, or perhaps he realized that he had no chance of acquiring this weapon on his own. In fact, it may be a bug, but Volu actually snatches your bloodfouler if you talk to him again with the weapon in your inventory. If this is intentional, Volu's intentions become disgustingly clear. He got you to do the dirty work for him. We're not done just yet though. There's yet another elephant in the room. How they both fit inside the room, I have no idea. Pay attention to this line from the description in specific, marked by its maker's seal. Now, if you look closely at the bloodfouler sprite, you can actually make out a symbol above the weapon's hilt. That's right, it's the same seal on the books, just flipped. This confirms that the second prophet is the creator of the books we collect in-game, but this answer bestows upon us one more question. Just what information is in these books that we can't access? An odd book with a nigh impenetrable bolt. Perhaps what's best left in here is best left unread. Whatever's in these books, we're not meant to be reading them. They're locked for a reason. It's safe to assume that the eldritch visions we see upon touching the bloodfouler are just a taste of the information that's contained in these books. These visions are horrors unlike you've ever known, and they've been compiled by the ministry of all groups. Who's to say that you're not seeing images of the drowned gods? Think of it this way. All of this time we've thought of the ministry as humans hopelessly worshipping and attempting to understand the depths. What if the ministry found something down there? When the ministry stared into the depths, what if the drowned gods stared back?